Hello everyone, it's DA here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Warframe Update 22.6 to see what was introduced, the balancing and changes, and what I think about the update so far. So the first things first, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do me a favor, go down below and hit that subscribe button. And once you've done that, let's go ahead and get started with the rest of the video. So the first things to note is that if you haven't downloaded this update yet, is that it's going to be about 1.5 gigs large and might include some more items than we currently have access to in the game. DE did mention that this is a part 1 of the Gara update, so some of the assets and some of the things in this update are not accessible to you right now, but you might see them later on in the future. So the next one is that this is something that the devs have been talking about for a while, and something that they've been showing us a little bit here, a little bit there, and this time they brought a whole pile of them. The changing weather effects have been added to the plains of Eidolons, and you will be able to experience rain, lightning, thunder, and different light grading, and also different shadows on the plains. So this is something that they've added into the game, and it is quite set on a timer, so it is not going to be every single specific time. It is going to be random, and I actually love the way it looks so far. Now I'm hoping for DE to introduce this to other tile sets as well, and I can't wait to see that on some of my favorite tile sets that I use for either farming or even some of the ones that I use for video capturing. The rest of this is also really impressive, and the great thing about the raining feature is that more fishes will spawn while it is raining. This also affects enemies and their ability to see you and your allies, so if you are planning on running bounties, it will be much more beneficial to do that while it's raining. But I'm not sure if it will be affecting ghouls in the future. Maybe ghouls might be immune to it, maybe they are going to be seeing you based on senses instead of just regular sight. Now Focus 2.5 is in, and with this update it puts a little reset on the entire focus system. The changes began with the cost of maxing each focus nodes and also the changes to some passive and active abilities. Now before I begin on the changes, I want you guys to know that focus points have now been refunded, so you can start all over. However, the only difference is that your Eidolon lenses, your focus lenses, your greater lenses have not been refunded. Those are still in the same spot. Another thing that was refunded will be Eidolon shards that you have used in unbounding some of your abilities. The ones you used to unbound will be refunded. However, the ones that you have converted into focus points will not be refunded. So those are quick things to know before you go on into this update and before you decide to make some changes. So those are very important. The first one on this change is the entire focus pool can now be shared all across each 5 focus schools. In the past, you have to rank each school individually, but now you can select one of the schools and use that points from that school to rank up the general pool. So this cuts the general cost about 80%, and that is a really good thing. The cost of ranking each focus node has also been reduced by almost 30%, so it will cost you a few points to rank each node. But I will say don't use all your points yet until you fully understand each node and the ability changes that I'm about to explain to you right now. So Zenuric's Void Singularity's pull speed has been doubled, so it pulls enemies a lot much faster. However, the downside of this is that the Void Dash on Zenuric now costs you 10 energy per cast. So for most people who run Zenuric, I would rather keep the old format, but DE said that they are doing this to create balance between each schools, so a lot of players are now using more Zenuric than they are using the other schools. So I guess that is DE logic. Now with Vazarin, Guardian Blast now grants you 160 shields instead of the usual 100. Protective Dash will grant 5 seconds of immunity instead of the old 2 seconds. So that is also a great thing. That 3-second difference might mean some changes or make a little bit of a difference for those who play Vazarin. So I guess that's a nice change if you think of it that way. Matterize changes make it so that Void Strike now stacks up with a damage boost over time to a maximum of 8 times. So that is a great thing for a lot of you if you like to stack up the damage, or if you like to use this several times. So this means you can deal more damage, you can increase that combo counter, and even stack it up a lot more. Now the Blazing Dash no longer ragdolls enemies, so this time it will only stun them in place, and I'm glad that they made this change, mainly because a lot of time if you ragdoll enemies, they fly all across the map. Now you have to chase them down, and this way it reduces the extra hassle. Unaro has been the best change for me so far, mainly because of that Void Spines. Void Spines now grants you 100% damage reflection, and Stone Skin now adds 60 flat armor for both operators and Warframe. So this will be a good thing for frames that have a low armor, and even a much better thing maybe for frames that have high armor like Chroma. However, I'll have to place test those to see what the changes are and how it feels. Now, not that impressive for a lot of people if you think of it, but it is quite nice to see a little bit of a change to those abilities. The next one will be on fishing. So now you will be able to share dyes, and you will also be able to share baits with all your squad mates within each radius. So if you have a lot of squad mates around you, you don't have to drop in 4 baits and 4 dyes. Now you can just use one and everybody can fish and also be happy. And considering the fact that we have rain now, that means there are more fishes spawning in the plains of Eidolon. So that is a great thing for a lot of you, if you love fishing of course. The next one is a change that I believe will anger a lot of people, and mostly is going to be based on Gara and Volt. For the past few days, it was mentioned that a cap on discharge will be removed so Volt can deal more damage. But now it has been confirmed that it is still too powerful. So sorry to all the Volt mains in the game, this is not going to work. DE said that they tested it several times and they realized that the power and how much you can max it and how much you can just melt down the entire tile set. Well, they didn't say that portion, but they realized it was super powerful, it was OP, so they had to nerf it down and keep it the way it is right now until they finally find a solution. Gara's Mass Vitrify has been given the Snow Globe treatment, and I'm sure a lot of you saw this several miles away. We already saw it on the horizon. We knew it was coming at one point in time, we just didn't know when. So this treatment basically gives it a scaling that is based on power strength and also on armor. So this time is going to be a little bit crazy for a lot of us who use it for invincibility, and you can just get on a defensive tile set, spawn Mass Vitrify, and just have it stacked right there. Now the only thing that might be a little bit of a positive change to this is that the timer on this ability has been removed, but it is no longer invincible. So for me personally, nerfs in a PvE game has always been a matter of question, because there hasn't really been a huge reason to have that or actually do something like that. But I'm sure DE is doing this mainly because they don't want to create a power creep where one frame is better than the other and people hardly use the others. But I guess this is a different theory for DE. That might be it, but it is all up to DE. It is a DE logic. So far, this update has been part of a large one. It is part of the upcoming Korra update, but I would have loved to see some changes with the convergence orb on the focus system. Hopefully something that doesn't require extra work. But let me know what you guys think about this update. Let me know what you think so far as the Gara changes and also the Volt changes. If you're a Volt main and you like this change, let me know why. And if you hate this change, let me know down below as well. I would love to read your comments and see your explanation on this. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, like I requested earlier, go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more wonderful and amazing videos. Thank you very much once again for watching. Hope you like this, and I'll see you in the next one.